So here we will learn one of the most powerful but most misunderstood features in Microsoft Word, that is sections and columns. Have you ever tried to make one page landscape while the rest stays portrait? Or wanted a newsletter style two column layout in middle of your document? Or needed different page numbers in different parts of a report? All of that is possible, and today you are going to learn exactly how to do it. First, let's talk about what is a section. So let me zoom that for you here. So section is basically, think of Word document like a house. Normally, every room has the same rules, same walls, same flooring, same ceiling height, but what if you want one room to be different? That's exactly what a section does. It creates a zone in your document that can have its own rules, its own margins, its own orientation, its own headers and footers, and yes, its own columns. So there are four types of section breaks. The first one is next page, like new section starts on a new page. Use this for chapters. Second is continuous. New section starts on the same page. Use this for columns. Next is even page, that forces the next section to start on on an even numbered page, and the other one can be the odd page that forces it to start on an odd numbered page. Then one you will use the most often, that's the continuous one, especially when working with columns. Now let's talk about how do you see section breaks. So for that, first and foremost thing is you need to go to the home tab and click the button, that's the show hide formatting marks button. It will look like that. So you will see a dotted line that says section break, that will be the continuous one. So that's your section boundary. We will be doing the practical part as well. Before that, first let's talk about what are columns. So columns split your page into vertical sections like a newspaper. Text flows down the first column, then jumps to the top of the second column, then the third, and so on. So you have 5 quick presets: 1, 2, 3, left, right. So 1 is the default one, that's a normal single column. 2 is that is splitting the page into 2 equal columns. 3 is 3 equal columns. Left is basically the narrow column on the left, wide on the right, and right is wide on the left, narrow on the right. And if you want full control, you can click more columns. You can set exactly how many columns you want. You can set each column's exact width. You can set the spacing, the gap between columns. You can add a line between columns, that will be great for newsletters. And most importantly, you can choose whether to apply it to this section or to the whole document. Next part here is column breaks. Now what if you don't want to wait for column to fill up naturally? What if you want to force content to jump to the next column? That's where a column break comes in. You can use the keyboard shortcut as well, that is Control Shift and Enter. This is really useful for balancing columns. For example, if you have a heading that should always appear at the top of the second column, you insert a column break just before it. Next comes up with the combining sections and columns. So here's where it get really powerful. Like what if you want a full width title at the top, 2 columns in the middle of your main content, a full width footer section at the bottom? So step number 1 is type your title, press enter. Step number 2 is go to layout, breaks, continue section break, this ends section 1. Then apply 2 columns, Word applies it to this section only, and type your body content, it flows in 2 columns. At the end of your content, insert another continue section break. Go back to 1 column, now you see like you can be in the next section 3, and then you can come back to your width. I will be showing all these stuff in a practical way as well. But first, let's complete the theoretical part. Then it comes with the different headers and footers per section. That's the another huge section, or you can say the use of sections like different headers and footers. By default, all sections share the same header and footer, but you can make each section independent. Then it is about page numbering per section. For that you need to go for insert and then page number, format page number that we did before. You can choose your format, you can choose continue from previous section or start at a specific number. So this requires two sections, section 1 that can use Roman numerals, or section 2 that can restart at page 1 with Arabic numbers. So let's recap what we did, like what we understood. So we understood sections that divide your document into independent zones. Continuous break, that's basically same page, I would say great for columns. Next page, that's or next page break, that's a new page, great for chapters. Columns basically split your page vertically for flowing text, and column breaks, they force the text to jump to the next column. And link to previous, it controls whether headers and footers are shared. Format page numbers, they lets you restart or reformat per section. So shortcut is like for column break you can use control shift enter, and yeah. Now let's move forward with creating a document that has a full width title, a two column section, a full width footer section, different headers and page numbers starting at 1. So sections and columns are what separate beginner word users from advanced ones. Once you master this, you can build professional newsletters, reports, theses, and brochures, all without needing any external software. So now let's get started with the practical part relating to it. So here, first we need to open a blank document. Why? Because we need a fresh workspace, to build our layout from scratch. So how to open? Just open your browser, go to docs.google.com, click on the blank document. At the top you will see untitled document. You can rename it to columns and sections demo, as we are doing it columns and sections demo. So let me just rename it. So I will just double click here and write my stuff here. Now the first thing that we will be moving forward is regarding showing the formatting marks, turning on formatting marks so that we can see invisible elements. Without this, we can't see spaces, paragraphs, breaks, or section boundaries. You would be working blind. Now, how to do that? First, click on View in the top menu, and then we can click here on, you know, Show Formatting Marks. So let's find out. Show print ruler, we have expand outlines and sidebar, we have a mode, we have comments. We can go for expand outlines and title bar, so it will show print layout, show ruler, and we can go for show equation toolbar, each and everything, so that we will get this stuff. Show non-printing characters, right? It's about the full screen. So now each and everything is visible to us, so that when we will be creating a section break or something like that, so that will be visible to us. Step number 3 is we need to type the title. Now, adding a heading at the top of the document is required. Why? Because this will be our full width section 1. The title area, that's it, above the columns. Now here, what you need to do is we need to here click at the top, at the top of the blank page, and here we can type columns and sections in Google Docs, because this is something our title will be for today. Columns and sections in Google Docs. Okay, so we can uncheck show non-printing characters. Okay, so here once we have added this title, Here we can change it to title and we can write it apply title. Okay, so title will be applied, and then press enter. And if you want, you can also change it, like justify it or make it into the center so that it looks good. So just add it to the center and then press enter. Step number 4 is formatting the title, that we already did, styling the title as title so it looks like a proper heading. So why? Because heading creates visual hierarchy, so readers immediately know that this is the title, not the body text. So how to do that? Once again I'm telling, just select your title text by clicking and dragging over it. In the toolbar, click styles drop down. It says normal text, title, subtitle, heading 1, heading 2, likewise. So you can select it heading 1 or you can select it title as per your requirement, what do you want. Let's say I'm selecting now heading 1. Okay, just changing it to heading 1. Then you can click center align button as from here, that it should be in the center. Or you can press Ctrl Shift E. Your title will be bold, large and centered. Next step here is understanding how Google Docs handle columns. So, a quick explanation before we apply columns. Now, why Google Docs handle columns differently from Word? There are no section breaks in the same way. Columns in Google Docs apply to the entire document, or you can control them per section using a workaround. Just listen for now, no clicking yet, okay? In Microsoft Office Word, we use section breaks to apply columns to just part of a document. But Google Docs uses a simple system, columns that are applied via the format menu. For mixed layouts, you can go for full width title, 2 columns, 2 width again. We use a clever workaround with a single column section before and after. So now let's apply 2 columns to the document. Now what is that 2 columns? That is splitting the page into 2 columns. Why? Because that will create the newspaper style layout where text flows from the left column to the right column automatically. Now how to do that? Click on format in the top menu and then click on columns. You will see 3 icons here, 1 column, 2 column and then 3 columns. Okay, so we can click 2 columns icon. So here our whole document will be divided into 2 columns. So I will just show you how. So just selecting it, format and then column and then selecting 2 columns. So it has been divided into 2 columns icon. Okay, now if we types how to check it, we need to type something and then we will be checking it. Okay, so we will be typing some body text now. We will be moving forward with filling the left column first and then jump to the right column. So let's say we are writing a section about the stuff relating to section. Okay, so I'm just pressing enter now here. So let's say I'm writing a section in Google Docs, just the stuff, kind of in heading, or I would say the definition. A section in Google Docs controls the column layout of your content. So let's say now I want for something else, for the other column. So here I will be coming to the another column. So here I'm just pressing enter, 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 and now you can see my cursor is here, not to the next page, but it is here into the another column. And again I'm pressing enter, enter, see. So and I'm entering some other text. Columns are used to create a professional newsletter and report layouts. So you can see. So it has been divided into 2 columns. Now again, if I wanted to write something in the at the left side, then I will just press enter, and I can come here to the left side. So you can see it will move it up, move it down as per your requirement. So this is 2 columns icon. Now we will be exploring the common options, column options. Like we will be customizing the column settings, spacing and divider line. Why? Because default columns have a standard gap, but you can widen or narrow it and add a visible line between columns for more professional look. So for that we can click for format and then columns, and then we can click here more options. So a dialog box will appear, you will see number of columns, spacing, line between columns likewise. So let's say number of column, right now we are keeping it at 2. Spacing, we can reduce it to 0.3 inches. Okay, you can do it as per your requirement. And then line between columns, and check this box, and then click apply. So now you will see a thin line, vertical line between your columns. Step number 8 is inserting a column break. Now what is that? Forcing the text to jump to the next column at a specific point. Why? Without this, text fills the left column completely before moving, to the right. So a column break gives you manual control. For example, forcing a heading to always appear at the top of right column. Now how to do it? Click at the beginning of a sentence in the middle of your text, or somewhere else. Let's say here. Click insert, then in the top of menu, and then click break. And then it asks you page break, column break, what kind of break. So let's say I'm clicking here because we are working with columns. So I'm just clicking here column break. So you can see everything after your cursor jumps to the top of the right column. Okay, so the next step is creating a full width section after columns. So what is that? End the 2-column layout and return to full width single column. Why? Because in real document, reports, letters, newsletters, brochures, you often need a full width conclusion or footer section, after the column. So this is how we achieve that in Google Docs. So how to do that? You need to click at the very end of of your body text, and then press enter. Okay, to create a new paragraph. Okay, click format and then columns, and then come again to the one column. Okay, now type at the end of the document whatever you want to type. So this text is now full width again, while the content, it stays, at the 2 columns. I'll show you once again. I'm just doing Control Z. Okay, so what you need to do is, for creating a full width section after column, and the 2-column layout and return to a full width single column. Why? Because real document, as I told, you often need a full width conclusion, right? So click at the very end of your body text. So here, click at the very end of your body text. So let me make it little bit, like this, so that it looks good. Okay, and then press enter, to create a new paragraph. Okay, now we will be clicking here on format and then columns and then one. Okay, so move it down. Controls. Okay, so we do have one more line, so that's why it was not doing it. We have one more stuff here, so I just need to make it here or something like here. So I just need to move it here. I don't have anything down now. Okay, so here you need to click at the very end as I told, and then press enter, and then format, and then columns, and then one column. So here we are setting it format, columns, and then one column. Okay, Okay, sometimes this might be the drawback here. Sometimes, this is a known limitation of Google Docs. So here we will be moving forward with the correct workaround. So Google Docs column apply to the entire document, not just part of it. So there is no true section break as I told like Word. So when you change columns mid document, it changes everything as we see now. So there is one more correct workaround. We can try that. We can use a table. That's a professional workaround that actually works in Google Docs. So you can simulate a two-column layout using a table instead of format columns, but it works in the simple Microsoft Office Word. Okay, but here in Google Docs you can go for adding a table. It columns cannot be mixed on a same page. A two-column table, it looks identical but gives you full control. Left column, right column, and full width, content above and below. So what do you need to do? You can undo everything, by Control Z. Keep your heading, the title at the top, or you can just go for format and then columns and then one column, and then format columns, make it one, right? So like this you can do if you want in Google Docs. But the same thing that I told, it works in simple Microsoft Office Word. I don't have a paid version for that, otherwise I would have shown you there. So here, keep your heading one title at the top, press enter of the title, in order to create, I would say, a new line. You can go for inserting tables that we did, before. Click insert and then tables. So created something like this, inside the left side, you can go for two columns and, one row. Two columns, one row, like this you can create it. And it will go for, in the left side type your left content, yeah, in the right side type your right content. Click below the table, press enter, type, and the end of the summary you can go for, entering your content whatever you want, right? So remove the table border from here if you want it to look like the page break. You can remove the table border from here, table option, and we have quick layouts. You can use like this. So you can go for Control A inside, or click at the top left of the table selector, right click and table properties, undo color, set border, to uh, 0 point or white color. Click OK. It will look like a real column with no visible grid. But if I give you the honest comparison, here true section breaks, it applies in Microsoft Office Word only. Okay, Google Docs no. And columns on one part of a page, Microsoft Office Word, but Google Docs no. Mixed column layouts, Microsoft Office Word yes, but Google Docs no. Columns whole document, Microsoft Office Word yes, but Google Docs no. Table workaround layouts, I would say it goes for the whole document in Microsoft Office Word, and for Google Docs. Line between columns for Microsoft Office Word yes, but for Google Docs also yes. So Google Docs is great for collaboration but has limitations in advanced layout. For professional publishing layout, newsletters, reports, brochures, Microsoft Office Word, gives much more control. In Google Docs, we use tables as a workaround for mixed column layout. Let me know if you have any questions till here.